Всех приветствую, товарищи. С вами Вещи Олег. Мы продолжаем проходить Hogwarts Legacy. И снова нас ждет много всякого интересного. Так, я хочу открыть, там где-то этот был кастрик. А, вот он, тут дальше есть кастрик. Значит, мы его просто откроем, да и все. Не будем заморачиваться. Тут, короче, понятно, прям замес капец. Лютый. Какие-то вообще недружелюбные территории, я смотрю здесь. Слово совсем. Испания Мерлина можно, кстати, пройти. Так, надо скатить. Куда? Мы смотримся. Нифига, сюда надо его.
You can feed a beast, or it can feed you. I prefer the latter.
Repairer.
Не про канал, ладно.
I should investigate.
Дать ускорение, так сказать. Ну, сегодня испытание не прошел, походу.
I'm sure it's a big power to kill a book. I know you don't walk in the dark art. You may want to move. No.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Короче, провалил задание. Опять черт с ним, короче. Один больше, один меньше. Так, что у нас по точкам?
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Bombarda. Accio. Accio. Bombarda.
Так, а ну.
Incendio. Accio. Lumos. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Levioso. That wasn't too hard.
Так, есть. И здоровые коты, блин.
Here's one of those tables Professor Shaw mentioned.
Давайте тоже посмотрим, раз мы тут забежали уже сюда.
Abandoned long ago, no doubt.
Что торговец такой?
Hello. Do you have anything for sale?
That I do. The name is Rohan Prakash, and welcome to the oldest shop in the region.
Is that right? How long have you been in business?
Well, I've only been running it a short time myself, but my father ran it for many years before he fell ill.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry about your father.
Oh, he's still around. Would love to be doing what I'm doing. Until he is able, however, I will gladly manage it for the both of us. But for now, a word about your health and safety. I assume you're as concerned as the rest of us about the goblin uprising, the dark wizards, even the dugbogs have gone mad. But our shop can sell you any number of supplies that will help to keep you safe from all of that. Please have a look.
Интересно.
And do come back. You're always welcome here.
Thank you, Mr. Prakash. Best of luck to you and your father.
I appreciate your words.
What do you have for sale?
Please have a look.
О, это что за медло? Прикольно.
An excellent purchase. Thank you kindly for your business. Thank you. I hope to see you again.
Oi! Pass that fire whiskey over here. You have to learn to share.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
It's like a
Ой,
page
слушай,
from a
нифига.
storybook. Pardon? Were you calling to me?
I was. I'm Marianne Moffat. Pleasure. At the moment, I'm having a great deal of trouble trying to find a particular diricle.
Ah, yes, the magical bird. Can disappear when it senses danger.
Peculiar things, aren't they? Did you know that muggles call them dodos? Such a funny name. I'm worried about a large albino diricle known as Gwynaira. She's a local legend, so of course poachers are after her. If I had her, I'd treat her like a queen, and I could use her molted feathers as fashion accessories.
Sounds as if she needs rescuing. I know the perfect place.
The perfect place is with me. Wait until the neighbours see her, not to mention how fashionable I'll be with those beautiful feathers. I can't seem to rescue her, and I'm worried the diricles don't trust me since I've been hanging about their den.
I'll keep an eye out for a large white diricle.
Oh, thank you. Those gorgeous feathers. And she'd be safe. One last thing. She seems to spend her days in hiding. I've only ever seen her at night. I do hope you're able to save her. Be prepared to chase her. I sometimes wonder if she actually enjoys the pursuit.
I suppose I should watch for Gwynaira. At night, apparently.
А сейчас еще день, что ли? Вроде ночь.
This must be the diricle den that Miss Moffat. Now, where is Gwynaira? Arresto momentum. Levioso. Got her. Now I need to let Miss Moffat know.
Так, отлично.
Seems a pleasant enough little place.
Oh, hello. Any luck?
Miss Moffat, I caught Granira.
Угу.
That's incredible. Was it terribly difficult?
She was difficult to track down, but I managed in the end.
Believe me, I know. Well, may I have her now?
Actually, I think she'll be safer with me.
But it was my idea to rescue her. I'm the one who fell in love with her beautiful plumage. Oh, the cheek. Now what shall I do? Without her feathers, I can't finish any of my
Это
fashion
понятно, зачем тебе
designs.
птичка. Нафиг
You
пошло.
traitorous foul napper. I hope she pecks your eyes out.
Так, а ну, задание. Какие?
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel.
Я хочу сделать же задание, не хочу тут лазить столько времени.
Haven't a clue why there's such a buffer, though.
Жаба.
They come after me, they'll...
The course looks rather deserted. I hope everything's all right.
Gryffindor, over here.
Так, ну-ка.
Hello again, Imelda. This course is a bit far from the castle, isn't it?
Obviously. Evidently too far for most of our classmates. Pathetic. They should be begging me to keep these trials alive, not running scared. I'm surprised our new 5th year showed up. I suppose I appreciate the effort.
That's actually... thank you.
I know I can be impatient, but I get frustrated by those who don't take things as seriously as I do. And in my
Понятно,
experience, that's everyone. Anyway, don't let it go to your head. Right then, enough chatter. I'm confident I've posted a time you won't be able to beat.
We'll soon see how I fare, won't we?
Поехали.
Get ready to lose, Gryffindor.
Brilliant flying, if I do say so myself. Made it. Now that's more like it.
Блин, Машу сложнее гораздо реально. Ну ничего, попробуем справиться.
That wasn't too difficult. Brilliant flying, if I do say. Now that's more like it. Made it. Excellent.
Эх,
This is rather fun.
лихо.
That was quite something.
Impressive work today, but don't get too comfortable. I'll be on your heels in no time. My family's not going to believe the news when I tell them. They're almost as competitive as I am. Almost.
Давай
I
поболтаем
take it you
что.
want to play for a team, but which one? And which position?
I'm my father's girl. A chaser through and through. You'd know that if Black hadn't cancelled Quidditch this year. As for a team, it's the holy-head harpies I've always dreamt of. When I'm finished with school, I'll try out. If for some reason I don't get accepted, I don't know what I'll do. Herbology, perhaps? Because if that did happen, you might as well pop me and call me a mandrake. I'd never stop screaming.
Will you keep running these courses?
I'll race them myself. Don't want to get rusty. But I won't be dealing with time trials. You're welcome to run them too. Anyway, hope we find time to fly again soon.
Do you get your competitiveness from your family?
You could say that. My grandfather played Quidditch for Puddlemere United. And my father, well, he was a chaser for Slytherin, but had to stop after a curse took his knees out. Said it was the Gryffindor beater. And me, I fell in love with flying the first time I saw the ground disappear beneath my feet. Something about the freedom you feel on a broom. I've not been able to stop since.
It's been fun competing against your records, Imelda.
It has been fun. Glad you're here. 5th year. Not bad. For a Gryffindor. You take care of yourself.
Давайте откроем кастик ближайший.
I should let Mr. Weeks know that this was his best upgrade yet. This looks intriguing. Revelio.
Не то нажал.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
How's my favourite test flyer? Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Hello again, Mr. Weeks. I set a new record at the South Course.
Fantastic! Your broom performed well then?
The best upgrade yet. It flew beautifully, incredibly nimble. But with the speeds it now reaches, I can feel the wind catching beneath the seat a bit, preventing it from reaching its full potential.
Of course! Should have anticipated that. Exactly the kind of report I've come to expect from you. At last, I think I know what needs to be done for my final upgrade.
Так.
What will you do after the final upgrade is complete?
I aim to make Spintwitches the most sought-after shop in Hogsmeade. And I wouldn't mind getting back on a broom myself, just for the thrill of it. Couldn't be more pleased we made headway with the upgrades, proved the naysayers wrong, made all the hard work worth it.
I shall look forward to speaking again.
I'll be sure to send you an hour when I'm finished. Thank you again for your help. Couldn't have done this without you.
Так. Отлично. Так, где там Поппи?
Good for Mr. Weeks. Mr. Weeks and I do make a good team.
It's not like her to forget.
I didn't keep you waiting, did I?
Not at all. I was just at the post office. Gran told me to expect a package, but it looks as if she forgot to send it. She didn't send me an owl this week either. Perhaps she's busy with her research.
What was she sending you?
Only some feed she's been developing. I was going to give it to Professor Howen for the measles.
What kind of research is she doing?
It varies from week to week, but it's always to do with creatures. Last week she was studying leg knots in plimpies.
What did you find out about the dragon you were tracking?
I realised that she didn't know the poachers had her egg, so when she left Horntail Hall, she would have headed straight to her nest. I went back to the tent and tracked her flight.
Это интересно,
How
да.
do you
Каким
track the
образом?
dragon long after she's gone?
Tree canopies, burn marks, things like that.
Well done. You certainly know what you're doing.
I can't be certain, but I have an idea of one place she may have been heading. I thought we might go and see it for ourselves.
Of course. Shall we leave now?
If that's all right. I want to see how she's faring if she had a collar on. And she's likely frantic about her egg.
Мгм.
Here we are. I do think this is where we'll find her. The terrain's typical of where the breed would nest. I suspect it's how the poachers found her to begin with. They likely camped here and logged her patterns. Perhaps nabbed her first and then her egg. Dragons are hard enough to wrangle, let alone maternal ones.
You got all of that from simply standing here?
You'd be surprised how easy it is to think like a poacher. Shall we see if she's home? We only need to return her egg.
Реально может быть опасно.
Sounds simple, but this is a dragon after all.
Hebrideans can be aggressive, but they're also clever. She caught on quickly enough when you showed her how to escape the tent. She'll understand why we're here once she sees her egg. Then we can be finished with the poachers once and for all.
I don't suppose you've thought about keeping it, have you?
No, it belongs to her. Keeping it will make me just as bad as the poachers.
Какая ты, понятно.
If you're right about finding her here, how do we go about returning the egg?
Her nest will likely be in the heart of her den, which she will be keeping guard over. It might also be more charred than anywhere else, I imagine.
Well then, let's find our dragon and return her egg.
Wonderful. If she sees us flying about, she might take it as a sign of aggression or food. We should stay on foot. Oh, and one more thing. Let's not agitate her. Goodness knows she's been through.
Так.
I'm ready when you are.
Пойдем.
There she is, above us. She did make it home safely. Oh, good. It looks as if she wasn't collared like the other dragons.
For what it's worth, she doesn't seem to have spotted us yet.
Let's at least until we've done.
Accio! Send her! Stupid one! Reparo!
Fantastic.
There she is again.
She's breathtaking.
From a distance.
I wonder how good her eyesight is.
I beg your pardon?
I don't imagine the poachers fed her well. And from a distance, we probably look exactly like she
Да.
How lucky for her. Watch your step.
Pity. She must have been starved to pick off a grab horn.
Or just raring for a fight.
Quiet. What was that?
Так.
Well, there's no coming back
Wait here! I'll run
now.
ahead!
Here! Whenever you're ready, I'll follow your lead.
I'll draw her attention. Follow when it's safe.
Да, прикольно, блин.
Watch out! It's her domain. She'll make sure we know. Keep at it. We've just got to make it to the nest.
Make it easy.
welcome.
It's a little too warm.
Да понятно, что не рады. Я уже вижу.
I don't suppose she listened to reason.
I'd normally try, but we're well past that. Get to that opening below her.
She's leaving! Quickly!
Brilliant.
Угу.
There's the nest. We're almost there. Why is every bridge here broken?
Repairer.
Хороший вопрос.
Now, if we just return her egg, we can hopefully make it out without too much fuss.
Хранить, блин. Могла ты скушать так-то.
That was brilliant! And did you see how clever? She left us perfectly unharmed.
Creatures are a lot cleverer than most people realize.
That's what Gran always says. The important thing is that we survived it, and we returned her egg. Thank you for doing this with me. Wouldn't blame you one bit if you wanted to head back to the castle and never think about dragons again.
Shall we head back? I'm ready if you are.
I am. After our dragon rescue at Hauntel Hall, I half expect to be ambushed by poachers any time I'm not in the castle.
Understandable. We did sabotage their fighting ring and steal a dragon egg from them.
True. True. So why haven't they come after us? It's not like them to let things lie. Unless
Unless what?
they haven't let things lie. Oh no, I can't believe I didn't see it. We need to leave. I need to send an owl. How could I have been so blind?
Так, есть. Что по задачам? Карта. Блин, пешком только чесать. Ладно. Так, а ну-ка, что здесь интересного еще у него?
Just let me know if there's something in particular you're looking for.
Так. Ну, я пока ничего нового покупать не буду.
Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
Only a hairy-hearted sod.
Hogsmeade, here I come. Revelio.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
Пешки пионер
I'm
всегда
ready
готов.
to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Where am I to find
Alright.
these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
Так,
What
да.
sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Так, а ну сейчас, секундочку. Так, решил футболку приодеть. Это что-то это, окошко открыл. Без него жарко, с ним холодно. Поэтому так. Надо с канала представить.
Not a day goes by.
I can always rely on my Patronus to keep me informed.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
Так.
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Why wouldn't
Так,
Harlow
интересно.
insult your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
Так, ну пойдем дальше, да.
Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check them.
Please tell me you didn't take it.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
Интересно.
The note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What does he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often."
Понятно, шантажирует, короче.
For his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and to be worthy of Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you...
Хороший вопрос на самом деле.
He's a lovely man. But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous.
As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track.
Так.
The last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
Отлично.
Aloha, Mora. Revelio.
Ничего. Далее.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Oh, tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that
Да,
Harlow
вопрос.
committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Так, пойдем к Нате. Говорим Натахе. Натаха из Уганды.
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Заклинание у меня выставлено, если что, как разрядимся. Дадим нормальный прокаст.
Natty must be around here somewhere. Revelio. Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Revelio. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. The footprints led to this run. There must be another way forward. Accio! Hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Revelio. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
You can't keep your eyes off a pretty lass, you can't. Quit flicking the
Nothing even worth stealing in Murrenween. It's not gonna work. Using that girl as bait, no one's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Revelio.
It's about time Rookwood took control. He doesn't need Ranrock.
Not my fault if a customer skips the fine print and I have to break a few bones.
Show yourself!
Somebody out.
that one hurt.
Doesn't matter if they're still alive.
Revelio.
No more happy days.
Incendio. Confringo. Accio. Incendio.
Look what you've done! You paid for that.
The book of poems was taken from Agabus Felder. I'll be thrilled to have this back. Accio.
Are you even trying? What are your thoughts on
Нормально, сейчас это товарю.
Pay for your deed.
Accio. Confringo. Forever.
I'm just warming up.
Accio. Incendio.
You'll have to regret that.
Revelio.
Сейчас зачистим тут территорию. Угу.
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it.
Так, а что, я прям могу взять его уничтожить, что ли? Тварь. Так, ясно все. Уничтожается, ну ничего.
Revelio. Revelio.
То есть можно было прям постелсить, что ли?
Accio. Revelio.
Там можно было постелсить, я понял. Но ни к чему. Так большая огневая мощь.
Natty must be here somewhere.
You found us. I knew you would realize I had left my wand for you. Speak to Mr. Rabe. He will tell you what you need to do. And to help.
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Natty's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Use mine. We'll find yours together once you're out of there.
I need my wand for this. Using one with which I have no connection may not work as well or as quickly, and we cannot risk detection.
I shall do my best. Any idea where it might be?
It's nearby. I can sense it.
Understood. I'll find it.
Your friend Natty was not able to summon my wand. It must be blocked by something.
Revelio. Mr. Rabe's wand could be in there.
Ну-ка посмотрим.
Mr. Rabe's wand. He'll be glad to have this back. Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Давай снимай тут тоже.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay.
Ну, пойдем. Вот, вверх. Так, по битве я всех перебил, да. Кому кто-то еще явится.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe.
Поговорим.
Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe, to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's lot?
Well, it's certainly a good start. We shall see. But you can leave this to me now. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Accio!
Come now, don't be stingy.
When I was a girl, I wanted to work with you.
Так, ну понятно. Ладно, что у нас по заданию? Есть какое-нибудь короткое задание, которое можно пройти? Или идем только на серьезную? Ну вот есть задание прилично. По шмотью мне еще хватает там места. 23 из 28 на нашем мутке. Блин, короче, ладно, мы копии на следующий раз пойдем, значит, тогда. Сейчас сгоняем в чай комнату, дофига всякого сделать надо, блин. Мне сейчас надо попытать. А ты уже не поместится, ладно. Это можно пробовать, потому что Дерикола вырастет, да? Могу другой загон колдовать, да? Так, волосы страла, что тут можно еще? Так, кошаков он там посадить тоже.
You should be proud of all the potions you brewed.
Так, могу еще наколдовать загоны жмуров развести. Отлично.
Dick thinks you should be proud of all the potions you've brewed.
Так, значит, тут используем стол. Ясно, все хуже. О, кто повышает. Тоже кто был. Что? 29, ну пока потягаем, пусть будет.
Deke hasn't seen this many plants here before.
Так, да есть ткацкий станок, тебя интересует. О, прям целым, это вообще хорошо. Империю не сильно интересует. Проклятым целям больше интересует. Рутсу нормально пойдет. Перечень не то что давеча. Надо мне, короче, продать мотье, я думаю.
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Oh, hello again. Couldn't have perfected the
Так.
upgrades without your help. As always, I have
Ох
a
ты.
special surprise for you.
Блин, это дорого сильно, ладно, не могу.
Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Сейчас полно косарей дофигища. Так, давайте с Поппи еще поговорим. Как бы... Почему нет?
Oh, good.
Ждать.
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refuse to leave empty-handed. so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's incredible. It has rotational wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers?
They could make more money with Snidgets than they ever would have fighting dragons. The golden Snidget's feathers and eyes are incredibly valuable. That's why they're believed to be extinct. They were hunted out of existence by wizard kind. If the poachers found some now, I can't bear to think about the horrific way they'd be bred and killed for profit.
Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden?
Gran says the journals were a bit cryptic, which is good. Perhaps the poachers won't be clever enough to find the birds. From what she recalls, the journals only noted that the key to finding them lay in the moonlight. Gran thinks it can be narrowed down to a handful of locations.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it. But I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist.
Ну, логично, да,
We
можно
had the
понять.
element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon. But the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs! They'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Ага. Так, есть. Что сказать по нем? Давайте поговорим тоже. Еще бываем.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Late on your homework? Not one, not even
Ah, I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like
Офицеру не сильно доверяю, блин.
my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it.
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. and it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today.
Зря она
My
себя
mother and I
мучает.
tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
Do you think taking down the Ashwinders will avenge your father's death?
No. Vengeance is not what drives me. My father would not want that. He and my mother raised me to believe that it is a privilege to be able to fight for those who cannot. I know there is risk involved, but I feel it is worth it. I am glad you seem to think so too.
What does your mother think about all of this?
Well, as you saw, she worries a great deal. She is an excellent seer, but I think it bothers her to this day that she did not see my father's death coming. She misses
Скажешь такое, да.
as do I. So I believe on some level she understands my need to seek justice in a small way. But that does not mean that she likes it.
Do you think your father would approve of the things we've been doing?
Oh my, that is a good question. In theory, yes. Although he would worry as my mother does. But I think he, of all people, would understand my persistence. My father never shied away from a fight for good, no matter how ruthless the foe. And I think he would have enjoyed knowing that I had a compatriot like you.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. Truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank you again for
Отлично.
saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Так, отлично. Что с квестами? Остался только один, да? Будет интересно. Так, ну что, я думаю, на этом будем заканчивать. Вот, нормальная длинная серия, продолжительная, как бы все, много всякого сделали интересного, это хорошо. Вот, поэтому давайте подписываемся, лайк, комменты, заходим, поддержим. Все как обычно, все как всегда. Ну а пока что, до связи, товарищи.